Hey guys, I'm Marsha. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite recipes, and that is spinach balls. Now, I've actually already shared the written version of this recipe on my website about a month ago, but I didn't have a chance to film the video for it. And a few people asked me for the video, so that is what I'm going to share with you today. And yeah, let's just jump right into the recipe and I'll show you how to make it. Alright, so we're going to start things off with our butter. So I have 1 stick of butter that I'm going to go ahead and melt first. And the reason why I do this is because I do want my butter to have a chance to cool down before I mix it with everything else so it's not super hot. So I'm going to go ahead and nuke that in the microwave first. And while my butter is melting, I'm going to go ahead and prep some of my other ingredients. So here I have 1 chopped up onion. So if you have a small onion, that's perfect. But mine was kind of big, so I actually cut mine in half and chopped it up. And you do want to kind of chop your onion up finely because you don't have a chance to kind of cook the onion down and soften it up like you would a regular recipe. So you do want to chop them up finely so you're not biting on huge pieces of onion in your spinach balls. Next, I'm going to prep my seasoning, and it's really just 2 seasonings for this recipe, you guys. So it's Italian seasoning and garlic powder. All right, now that my butter has melted, I'm going to go ahead and set it to the side so it can start to cool. And now it's time to prep my spinach. So you're going to need 2 boxes of frozen chopped spinach. And if you can, I like to get the kind that is steamable, so it just makes your life a whole lot easier if you can cook these in the microwave by steaming them. Now, after your spinach has finished steaming and cooking in the microwave, you want to then take it out and put it in a colander for it to cool and drain off some of that liquid. So I like to do this and just put it in my colander and sit it in the sink so the liquid can start to drain off and it can start to cool down. Alright, so now while your spinach is cooling off, you want to go ahead and prep the rest of your ingredients, starting with your stuffing mix. So I like to use this particular brand and flavor, but feel free to use whichever brand you want, or if you have another favorite that you like to use, maybe it's gluten-free. And it's really the only recipe I have where I use pre-made stuffing mix, but I do not mind because it really makes this recipe come together so easy and it gives it a lot of flavor. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and dump in those onions. And now I want to go back to my spinach. So once the spinach has cooled down enough to where you can touch it and not burn your hands, then you want to begin to squeeze off the rest of that liquid. And so I like to either do this by hand or with some type of mesh milk bag, which is what I'm going to use today because I found it. I couldn't find it for a while and I was just using my hands. But if you do have like a mesh milk bag, that works perfectly to squeeze out liquid in vegetables. Now, you do want to make sure you squeeze as much liquid as you can out of this spinach, because the more liquid you keep in, the harder it is for the balls to actually mold and form together. So all of the ingredients that you're going to add to make it stick together, it's going to be hard to do that with all of that liquid. So please try to squeeze as much as you can out of the spinach. Once all of that extra liquid has been squeezed out to the best of my ability, I'm going to go ahead and add it to my bowl. Next, I'm going to add in my melted butter that has cooled off as well. Then I'm going to add in my seasoning, so my Italian seasoning or my garlic powder. And if you guys don't have Italian seasoning, something else that's really good to substitute is just thyme. So if you have like ground up thyme seasoning, you can use that in place of the Italian seasoning. It still give you a really good flavor. Next, I'm gonna add in some beaten eggs, and the eggs is what's gonna help bind everything together. Then I want to add in my cheese, and so I'm going to use some Parmesan cheese. You can use freshly grated cheese, which would taste really great, or if not, you can use a pre-packaged brand. And I have the measurements for everything listed down below in the description box, you guys, so feel free to check that out for the full recipe and measurements. Now, once everything is in your bowl, it's time to mix it all together. Make sure you mix it up thoroughly. Once it has been mixed up, it's time to form our spinach balls. So I like to do this with a cookie scoop because it makes everything uniform and the same size. But before I had a fancy cookie scoop, I just used a regular old spoon in my hand, and that works perfectly as well, you guys. And you just want to form everything into medium-sized balls. So not too big, not too small, kind of medium size. Roll it up with your hands until it forms a nice round ball, and then you're going to place it on a cookie sheet. So I like to line my cookie sheet with either some non-stick aluminum foil or parchment paper, so the spinach balls are not sticking to my cookie sheet, and you don't have to spray it down or anything when you use some type of, you know, liner. So that's what I like to do, and that's what I would recommend. Once you have all your spinach balls on your cookie sheet, it's time to cook them in the oven. We're gonna cook them at 375 degrees for 20 minutes. I do like to flip them over halfway through, so at about 10 minutes I'll flip them over so that way they can get a little golden brown on both sides. All right, and then after 20 minutes you have your spinach balls. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Again, the full measurements are down below in the description box. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below along with the bell so you never miss when I upload a video. I upload every Sunday and Wednesday. So until next time, friends, I'll see you later.